I'm not going to say that you aren't of sound mind, Claire.
Doctor, did I tell you about that time that I used the power of my mind to bring my husband back to life? I can't imagine what I'd do to the psychiatrist that double-crossed me. But I'm sure it would be fun. For me, at least.
I'm not afraid of you.
Surely that isn't what you need to be asking me right now.
I'm not scared of you, Claire.
I don't know anything about that.
I record these sessions. I have your confession on tape.
I don't know anything about that.
Alright, so this isn't getting us anywhere. Still 2 asterisks on the prescription pad. Maybe I can stop your powers.
That's not relevant here.
Alright, help me out here. I guess we should. Maybe we should talk about Dr. Dekker.
Oh, the continuing saga of Dr. Dekker. After he'd seen David and done his due diligence, he came up with an offer I couldn't refuse.
Yes.
Remember?
Yes,
the
you
one
did.
I told you about when we first met.
Uh-huh. What is it? What was the offer?
Dr. Dekker wanted me to reanimate him. He said he would kill David unless I agreed.
So that's where the body went? Did you reanimate him?
He called me on Valentine's night. He promised to use a disposable phone so there would be no trace. I was supposed to come here, where I would find him dead, and then reanimate him. I agreed immediately. It seems that Dr. Dekker went through with his half of the agreement. But I forgot to turn up.
So you're saying Dekker killed himself? Did you take his body from the tool shed?
Surely that isn't what you need to be asking me right now.
The funeral?
Try harder, Doctor.
I know there's no asterisks there, but you forgot to turn up?
No, Doctor. Ask me something else.
Why didn't you reanimate Dekker? Why did he want you to reanimate him? You're saying Dekker faked his death? Or tried to fake his death? He wanted you to reanimate him? Dekker killed himself? He killed himself?
That isn't important right now. Can we focus?
Okay. Hint. Right, doggone it. Like I said, sometimes this text parser just blows my mind. As you can see, we asked about Dekker writing her prescriptions. Apparently, I have to ask her specifically about sleeping tablets. He prescribed you sleeping tablets, but you never saw the pad?
It's true. I didn't see the prescription pad. He gave me that prescription for the sleeping tablets just as I was leaving one day. He said it was worth trying them, but I wasn't sold.
Okay. On some of these, we're not going as deep as I would have liked. But at least we're not giving in to Claire, even if she kills us. Hello, Elin. Killed anyone lately? You don't look happy.
I'm good. I feel better. Last session, that was all negative. I don't want to be like that. Oh, I made you something. A little thank you for being so nice. They're cookies.
Eat one. You eat one first.
I don't know anything about that.
I think you're trying to poison me. Elin, is there poison in the cookies?
There's too much going on in that question. Could you narrow it down for me a bit?
I feel like poison is a key word.
No. What do you think I am? Fine. Don't eat them then. I was just trying to be nice.
I actually don't think you were. Cookies?
The usual stuff. Flour, sugar, butter, chocolate chips, and my special ingredient. A little herbalist magic to give you some pep. You look like you need it.
My special ingredient.
I don't really have anything to say about that.
Alright, there's still something about the cookies, though, even though she won't tell us what her special ingredient is. Maybe herbalist magic.
You can put herbal remedies in food. The effect's more subtle, but it does work.
I don't trust you as far as I can throw you. Yes, you were negative.
I'm a happy person. And really, what's the point of being miserable? It doesn't matter what's going on at work or anything. Happy is the only goal. Max told me that. I think some footballer might have said it.
Who is Max?
I told you about Max, right?
No.
Didn't I mention him before?
No. No, you've never mentioned a Max.
Yes, but you don't know the whole story. Max is 77. He was one of my patients. I thought he was dying, so I shifted for him. Became an old sweetheart of his, apparently. Only Max didn't die. He actually got better somehow. And then he came and asked me to do it again.
Alright, this is the first we've ever heard of her shifting for someone and they didn't die. Are you having a tryst with Max? Are you romantically involved with Max? Maybe he didn't die?
Sorry, Doctor, I'm trying to answer your question.
Maybe we have misjudged Aelin. Did you shift for him again?
What do you mean? Sorry, I don't understand.
Maybe tell me about Max. Well, let's forget about Max for a second and ask about our other lines of questioning.
What about the prescription pad?
Did you steal it?
Yes, I took it. I had to.
To write prescriptions for your patients? Why did you take it?
Dr. Dekker told me he could use it to take away my gift.
Well, looks like Dekker tried to follow Jaya's advice. Did you write death threats too?
Someone was sending Dr. Dekker death threats. Had no idea. He never said anything to me about it.
Okay, well that cleared out a bunch of asterisks. Did you use it to write prescriptions?
I don't know what to tell you.
Maybe take away your gift? That's the only thing I could see from that exchange.
That doesn't ring a bell.
Use it to take away your gift?
I'm not sure where you're going with that.
Still more about Max. The whole story.
What do you mean? Sorry, I don't understand.
You became his old sweetheart?
Eleanor, her name was, or is. Like I say, he doesn't even know where she is now. But she obviously still loves him. When I shifted, I felt all fluttery and excited. It's so sweet, isn't it?
I guess? But you said you don't feel what they feel.
I don't really have anything to say about that.
He asked you to do it again.
Yes, Max and Eleanor had dinner on Valentine's Day.
Was that all they had?
I felt a bit weird when he asked me. But he said he just wanted to have one more date with her, and then he wouldn't ask me again.
But he did,
And to
didn't
be
he?
fair, he was a perfect gentleman. I mean, I didn't want to have that conversation.
Wait, what conversation?
The I don't sleep with 77-year-old men conversation, of course.
Okay. Well, I feel a little bit conflicted about Elin now. I was absolutely, totally freaking convinced that she was killing her patients. Until she told me Max survived. Then again, she could be lying, or she maybe just didn't kill him for whatever reason. She was attached to him? I'll get to you in a minute, Jaya. Hello, Nathan.
I think you know who killed Dr. Dekker, so you're gonna have a good day. Can we talk a bit about hypnotism, though?
I actually don't know who killed Dr. Dekker. Unless it was you. We know Elin took his prescription pad. We know Bryce lost his dead body. We know Claire was supposed to come to the office and raise his dead body, but she says she didn't come. Even though we already know who took the prescription pad, I'm sure the game wants us to ask.
His prescription pad's missing. The one with all the death threats on it. Do you think the murderer took it to cover their tracks?
No. Unless Elin is the murderer. And he's already claimed that he didn't, but did you write the death threats?
What are you trying to get me to say? I don't know anything about that.
Death threats?
I don't know.
Okay. Can't question him about it. He's the one who told us about the death threats. Sure, let's talk about hypnotism.
I've heard you can plant key words in people when they're hypnotized. How would I know if I had any? I think that the hypnotism didn't take, but maybe Dr. Dekker did hypnotize me, and it did work, and he told me to think that it didn't. I think I found one of the key words.
What is the key word?
I can't say what it is. I don't want to trigger it. I was on the phone to my dad last night, and he said something, and boom, I fell asleep. Normally I wish that kind of thing would happen, but it just happened. I phoned him back. I thought it was seconds, but it was an hour later. I asked him what he'd said. He'd watched some NASA program. He was reading off planets. It was one of them.
Okay. So, do we just start naming planets and see if he goes to sleep? I'm not sure we should be doing this, but Mercury?
I don't want it to be triggered.
I can understand that. Well, to try to prevent him getting upset at us for us naming one planet at a time, let's just name all the rest. Even Pluto, which is not actually classified as a planet anymore.
That's a bit vague, Doctor. Can you be more specific?
Okay, so I'm going to have to name them one at a time. Venus. Earth. Mars. Jupiter. Saturn. Alright, you're not asleep. But you are doing something. Where'd you go? Hello? Wake up? Should tell Nathan he went into a trance. Maybe? But not before we name the rest of the planets. See if they're keywords for something else. Neptune? Uranus? Sure, and the dwarf planet.
Pluto's not a planet, is it?
No.
And why are you even trying?
No, it's not a planet anymore. Its total surface area is less than that of the nation of Russia. So, you went into a trance.
So he did plant me with something. I have absolutely no idea. Did you find out what the key word is?
Yes.
What is it? No. Don't say it. Write it down for me. And thank you. You know, there's something I've not been telling you.
Well, glad that we could gain your trust, but what haven't you been telling me?
It's about time travel.
Time travel?
I read a book about time travel. I thought what was happening to me was a type of time travel. I couldn't control it, but at the end of each day, I would travel back in time to the beginning and live it over again.
Quantum leaping?
I'm like Doctor Who, but I don't have a TARDIS, and I can't choose what time I go to. Except once.
Once? You chose what time to go to once?
The doctor said she was legally still alive. The only thing they could do was starve her. Hannah didn't die in the accident the first time around. It was worse than death. She wouldn't have wanted that. I was looking at a photo from around the time of the accident. I had a lot of alcohol, which I think was probably necessary. I jumped back to the junction. I started pulling out, but the lorry was already on us. I drove into the lorry to make sure. I didn't wake up in hospital because I woke up the next day, present day. Things had changed.
Ooh. So the impression I got from that is he felt in the moment that there was nothing he could do to save her. So he made sure she actually died instead of living as a vegetable forever? Could you not have saved her?
I've tried, but I can't do it. To be honest, nowadays, I'm more interested in moving forwards.
Understandable. Things had changed?
Her obituary changed in the press clippings I kept. It said she was killed instantly. Nothing else changed. Her family seemed to hate me more, which is ironic because the first time around, they pulled her off life support. So I saved them the indignity. Now they just think it was my careless driving that caused her death.
Right, well, we don't need to pursue these 1* questions.
I think you know who killed Dr. Dekker, so you're gonna have a good day. Can we talk a bit about hypnotism, though?
You think I know who killed Dr. Dekker?
This might feel like the darkest timeline, but it's not my darkest timeline. I didn't kill Dr. Dekker. I'd look at one of your other patients, or maybe even your assistant.
I've thought of that. I see Molly, by the way.
You ask a lot of good questions, Doctor, but that one's a dud.
That did clear out hello, though we have something on the prescription pad left. The murderer might have taken it.
No, sorry.
To cover their tracks?
I suppose it could be a coincidence, but I'm guessing whoever murdered Dr. Dekker stole his prescription pad.
And Elin does not want to lose her gift, does she? She was so upset when we said we could take it away. So perhaps. He talked about wanting to get to know Mariana. I wonder if he's acted on that.
Things have been interesting, thanks to Mariana.
Interesting how?
We went on a date. Well, sort of. She texted me this bar she was going to, and I just turned up. She can dance. I was transfixed most of the night.
Did you follow her
Next
to the
thing I
ocean?
know, I'm lying in my bed at home. The room's spinning. The day moved forward. In fact, every night I go and watch Mariana dance, the day moves forward. Do you think Mariana likes me?
I don't know. But if she wants to stop leading people to the creature, and being with her makes you move forward, maybe you're good for each other. And again, I know she's already Amber, but how do you feel about Nathan?
That's not something I know about.
You don't know Nathan?
I don't have anything to say about that.
Alrighty then. There is only Jaya left. Hello, my scary assistant.
I'm worried about you, Doctor. You seem quiet and, well, it's just your fingerprints on the bottle. Maybe you touched it by accident? You didn't know him, did you?
Not that I know of. You're worried about me?
You just seem a little different from the person who turned up all those weeks ago. You don't talk to me as much as you did. You flitter between patients in a daydream. Tell me what things are bothering you.
I don't know that I want to talk to you, Jaya. So apparently each chapter of this is a week. They're not one day after the other, which makes sense. It sounds like Jaya might think I'm going insane. Well, we know we're going just a little bit insane because of the achievement that we got. Do you think I'm going insane?
Who measures sanity or insanity? One man's philosopher is another man's fool. I'm keeping an eye on you. I won't let you go crazy.
Mm-hmm. Did you let Dekker go crazy?
Holiday, perhaps? Some R&R? I suppose you were thinking something darker?
What? There's no asterisk there, but doggone it. Something darker?
I think you know what I'm going to say. I don't know.
All right. I'm worried about you, Jaya. And we know who took it, and she's the one who told us to ask, but did you steal the prescription pad?
Dr. Dekker's prescription pad is still missing. I'll let you know if it turns up.
Elin took the prescription pad.
Your patients will always be a bother, but you're caring for people. We do still care, don't we, Doctor? In a few weeks' time, there'll be a whole new bunch of faces with a whole new bunch of quirks. Let's not have a whole new doctor, shall we?
All right, so apparently we don't need to tell her? Did you write death threats?
I didn't know anything about that. If I have any grievances with my employer, I spit in their coffee. I hope that's how you like it.
Have you spit in my coffee?
For a grief counsellor, you're asking some pretty random questions. Suffice to say, I don't have an answer for that.
How I like it?
I don't know. Sorry.
You spit in their coffee.
That's not really relevant.
If you say so. Do you have any grievances?
Don't become like Dr. Dekker. I think that somebody killed him because he was using them. There's some footage I can't show you because it would affect you too much. Suffice to say, when Mariana told him she could breathe underwater, he wanted the same power for himself. So instead of trying to cure her of it, he'd try and amplify it to see how it worked, so he could imagine it for himself. I think he did that with all his special patients. I think he wanted all of their powers. If you believe in that sort of thing.
Well, he may have gotten them because his body disappeared. Show me the footage.
I don't know anything about that.
He wanted all of their special powers?
I once spoke to a patient here who claimed to be able to teach me how to get inside other people's dreams, but how would you know if that worked? Have you had any strange dreams lately, Doctor?
I don't trust you either, Jaya. Was it Mariana who taught you? No, I didn't know him.
Then why are your fingerprints on his vodka bottle? No, don't answer that. Oh, the infectious madness of Dr. Dekker, who hasn't it touched? I'm so worried.
You just did the thing where you said the name of the game. I gotcha. Just this one. What is in there? There's a lot in this response.
Don't become like Dr. Dekker. I think that somebody killed him because he was using them. There's some footage I can't show you because it would affect you too much. Suffice to say, when Mariana told him she could breathe underwater, he wanted the same power for himself. So instead of trying to cure her of it, he'd try and amplify it to see how it worked, so he could imagine it for himself. I think he did that with all his special patients. I think he wanted all of their powers. If you believe in that sort of thing.
Don't worry, I won't become like Dekker.
Should you be asking me that, Doctor? It doesn't matter anyway. It's not important here.
He was using them?
Any patient who presented with psychokinetic issues, they were his special patients. Towards the end, he began ignoring all the other cases. Most of the patients saw it as a curse, what they were experiencing, what they were unwittingly doing. Dr. Dekker saw it as an ability, a power to be harnessed and used for, well, God knows what he was going to use it all for. So he made them give in to it, and it consumed them, consumed all of them. Whether you believe any of that or not is your choice, but they did, which made them angry. And that's why I think he was murdered by a patient.
I'm not convinced. Just come right out and ask it. Did you kill the doctor?
Really? That's your burning question? No, Doctor, try again.
He tried to amplify it? Right, I'm not quite sure how to proceed, so let's go to our old standby. Oh, well, yes, I suppose that is a relevant question, though not really the point of our sessions thus far. Do you need any grief counseling today, Jaya?
I think I'm okay with the grief now. My mother died suddenly, and I think I was projecting Dr. Dekker's death to be about her. I know they're not related.
Are you sure they aren't related?
Are you stuck? Do you want me to ask the questions instead?
Your mother died? Is that around the same time?
My mother died suddenly, like Dr. Dekker. For her, though, it was different. She burst into flames. I was 7. They said she must have been smoking and drinking on the sofa, but she doesn't smoke or drink. Professor Alderby said it was spontaneous combustion.
You said doesn't smoke or drink. Instead of using past tense there. Are we through? That's a different... accuse. I'm probably going to get this wrong. I think Elin killed him. According to the game description, they choose a random murderer each game. So I don't know if that means answers and things change. I'm not certain we got any definitive answer as to who did it. But just by everything, and especially where Nathan said he thinks that the killer took the prescription pad, and Elin was very, very angry about us telling her and him telling her that we could take away her power. So I don't know if we need to actually select the person we're accusing before we click accuse, but I'm going to try that. Any notes? Any clues? Alrighty, cross your fingers. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we choose now. Well, this game does not have a traditional save system, so we're only going to get one chance at this, I think. But again, by my reasoning, I think Elin did it.
No, you've got it all wrong. I'm not a murderer. I'm a good person. I help people. Why would I want to kill Dr. Dekker? Without him, I'd never have started shifting. Anyway, I had the prescription pad just in case, so there was no reason for me to kill him. I'm really shocked you thought it was me.
Okay, I guess we do get another chance. Alrighty then. I have no freaking clue who it could be. I'm fairly sure it's not Nathan, though I could be completely wrong about that. I suspect Jaya. I suspect Claire. Not sure about Bryce. I guess we just keep guessing until we get it right. I think Jaya's next on my list. Maybe Claire? She's got a very murderous streak in her. No, we're going to accuse Jaya.
Doctor, we've had a bad day, haven't we? If you think I'm guilty, then one of your patients must have you just where they want you. I'll forget this indiscretion and go and put the kettle on. And perhaps you can have a lie down or something.
All right, we're doing terribly, aren't we? Well, let's go with our third choice then.
So after all we've been through, you're accusing me? Of what? Murder? Or of not bringing him back to life when I said I would? The last one I'm definitely guilty of. He wanted me to kill him, but I wouldn't. I turned up here on Valentine's night and he was drunk already, as usual. I think he thought the alcohol and pills would take the edge off things, but he was woeful. Have you ever seen a man trying to push a paper spike through himself when he's drunk? I'm not saying any more while your camera's rolling, but know this. Dr. Dekker was more disturbed than any of his patients, and I stopped him. I put my wrongs right. Can you say that, Doctor?
Oh, it was her. But what about your patients? And what about us? Okay, that's not actually the definition of insanity. And Einstein actually didn't say it. That is an urban legend.
So I've got a new dog, a basset hound. She's got these big floppy ears and a really sad face. You know, even sadder than I look. Ginger. I call her Ginger. She's a rescue. But since I've had Ginger, I've never looked back. Literally. Not one day.
I'm not really sure what you'd call it. Mutually assured delusions? I think Dr. Dekker was projecting his weird fantasies on me, and it was just going to be easier to go along with it. To participate. I feel much better now I know I didn't hurt anyone. I didn't hurt anyone. Did I?
It looks like Terry won't be coming back. She hasn't been in for a while, and I thought she just had a bug or something, but from what I've heard, it's not good. Apparently, she's in intensive care, and they can't figure out what's wrong with her. Well, I'm not going to lie. Work's much easier without her watching over me. Does that make me a horrible person?
I think I was in my own head too much, manifesting things that weren't there. But I'm very much an art connoisseur now. It's definitely helping keeping me sane. I realised that I'm a very visual person, and paintings can keep me occupied for hours. I go to Providence whenever I get the time. It's the local art gallery here. The best time to go is late at night. You get the place all to yourself.
Ah, you must be the new doctor. And punctual, I see. I like that in a doctor. I think you're going to fit in just great around here. Oh, I forgot. I have a book for you. It's my must-read of all time, and by must-read, I mean you must read it.
Huh.
Stop worrying, Mr. Ashby. Yes, it sounds almost certain that you murdered your business partner, but I can get you a temporary insanity plea. I'm a lawyer, not an agony aunt. Now, as I was saying to you before, you need to choose your particular strangeness before I can refer you. Once you have chosen it, don't waver. They have to believe what you're saying is true for it to work.
Okay. So, it felt like that was the good ending? At least where the patients are concerned, though apparently we got enough insanity that we had to be replaced? And that nothing was real? That it was just solicitors referring people to us and saying, pick out some supernatural power and stick with it like you have it and we can get you off? Maybe that's the case? I'm not for certain. I will say this. The actors in this game were incredibly good. I felt very, very, I felt very invested in each and every one of them. 100 hints? So did I use 100 hints? I don't think I did. No, 36. All right, practitioner. Doing great. That's a lot of questions. You're understanding them. Anyway, I do have a bit of an issue with the text parser, but I do think that you're probably going to have that problem in any game that uses a text parser like this, and I think that it's a very interesting system. This game seemed to really take, if you've ever played Her Story, it seemed to really take the idea of what they were doing in Her Story and build on that in a good way. And I've been told that this is the spiritual successor to a game called Contradiction, and we may be looking at that in future. I did enjoy the game despite my little quibbles with it. I'm not sure if we got the good ending or not, but it felt like we got the good ending, like we helped the patients. All of them seemed to be in a good place except for Claire, who was the murderer. I'm not sure that the game actually did an outstanding job of letting us know who the murderer actually was. That may be that they didn't change answers based on who was chosen randomly, but I don't know that that's actually the case. It might have just been me not being observant enough and remembering enough. I did play this over the course of, quite a few days now, not playing it all in one sitting or anything. That might have helped if I'd been able to pull that off. But anyway, that brings us to the end of the Infectious Madness of Dr. Dekker. Hopefully you have enjoyed this playthrough. I've enjoyed sharing it with you. And hopefully you'll join me as we go on adventures in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, friends, be excellent to each other.